Hi, I'm Nishant.
And I'm David, and we're engineers at Reka.
In this video, we're going to show you how to use Reka Research, which is our state-of-the-art deep research agent, to build an app. We're going to show you a really simple app and show you how to build your next AI app powered by Reka Research.
Yeah, and the first step is always to get your API key. And so if we look at our browser here, if you go to Reka platform, we'll start off with we're on the dashboard, and then if you look on the left, there's this API keys. I have a few, but let's create another one. So if you click the button on the top right, maybe call this app, create it, and then you can copy over the API key to your application.
Now we're going to hop to right into showing you the app that we're going to use as an example to show you how to build your own apps. This one is called Reka Restaurants, and basically we ask you what you're in the mood for. You type in a cuisine, your preferences, whatever, and Reka Research will return some results for you. It'll search the web and return results.
Yeah, let's take a look at the code.
So one thing we see in the code is that our API is OpenAI compatible. And so if you've ever developed an LLM application, this is probably going to look super familiar to you. And in particular, it'll be really easy for you to switch LLM providers and try Reka Research out.
Yeah. And taking a look at the actual abstractions inside of our application, you'll have some objects around the restaurants themselves, the name of the restaurant, the cuisine, address, etc. And also we have this approx location object, which carries some data about your location to find restaurants near you. And this is to actually pass into the API so we can ground the agent's results in results that are relevant to the user.
So in particular, it should be, once we pass this information to our API, it should be really easy for us to extract the results because we are telling Reka Research exactly what kind of information we want it to look up and we want it and how to structure the output for us.
Yep. So let's take a look at the integration with Reka Research API. This is our main backend endpoint here, API recommendations, where we'll get the user query from that input box and also the location from the browser. And I think this is the heart of the LLM API call. We define this query object, which has essentially it's a prompt that describes what we want out of Reka Research, which is a short list of 3 restaurants that matches the user's query. And we could take a look at the actual call. Inside of the actual call, you should pass in the parameter Reka/research, which is the name of the model itself. We should pass in the list of messages, which in this case is just the query that we just saw earlier. Moving on, we see that we're passing in the response format, which is a structured format in the same way that in the same object that we saw before, restaurant schema with all of those fields. And the last one here is location. We pass in location through research, web search, user location.
Now that we kind of have Reka Research hooked up to our app, want to give it a spin?
All right, let's run it.
All right. So, David, what are you in the mood for?
All right, so let's go with some udon. Why not?
Yeah.
So we can type in udon into our app, click Find Restaurants, and then kick off our deep research agent.
So our Reka Research agent is doing everything that you'd expect a deep research agent to do, and it's come back with some results now. David and I are both based in New York, and so our browser picked up on that. We passed that information to Reka Research, and it's recommended 3 udon restaurants in Manhattan for us.
And note that it has all the fields that we actually asked for, right? The name of the restaurant, the cuisine, the address, etc.
In particular, what's really cool is we're really big on transparency at Reka, and so we have our API also returns the full reasoning trace, and along with the set of actions that the agent took to retrieve the results that it did in our app. And so, yeah, if you look at the results, you'll see that the agent started out by searching for best udon restaurants near me. It found some links. It clicked on those links to analyze the content of those web pages, and at the very end, it got back to us with some results.
Yep, and as you can see, Reka Research is actually pretty thorough. It goes through multiple sources from a lot of different websites. Sometimes it can make the API feel a little slower because it's very complete. And so we've actually introduced a parameter to make it easier to get results quicker and faster. So if we take a look at the API again, right where we're passing in the location, we can add an additional parameter.
So this tells Reka Research to only search the web one time before returning results. This is great for simpler queries, as well as queries where latency matters a little more and you just want the result right away.
All right, let's give it a spin. We can rerun our application and then go back. All right, let's rerun the same query here. We're in the mood for udon, so let's see. We're limiting the number of searches to 1, so hopefully it should run a little faster, and it looks like it finished.
So let's take a look at the reasoning trace and see how this was enforced in the agent trajectory. As you can see, the agent only made a single search call. All of the previous steps that you see are analyze calls where it actually reads the content of the web pages. But in particular, you'll notice that the trajectory is a lot shorter. Now, let's take a look at some of the URLs we have on here. You'll notice that in this last call, Reka Research referenced both Reddit and TripAdvisor. Let's say you really wanted to prioritize TripAdvisor as kind of like a good domain or a good source of truth for Reka Research to use. We also have a switch in our API that allows you to enforce this. So if we go back to the code, you'll notice we can add another option, which is essentially a list of whitelisted domains, which Reka Research will be restricted to. In this case, it's just going to be tripadvisor.com. And now, if we run the application, let's see what we get.
All right. Let's try it again. Let's say, and then, all right, looks like we have the results. Now let's take a look at the reasoning to see what Reka Research is up to. If you take a look at the results, we see that there's only TripAdvisor web results inside of the searches. So it seemed to do pretty well at limiting its search. Note that we actually also have a blocked domains feature as well. Let's say there's a certain website you really don't like, you don't trust that restaurant reviewer, then you can block them as well.
So yeah, we tried to show you kind of the full extensibility and power of what you can do with Reka Research. We tried to make it very customizable, and we also made it very easy for you to just try out right away in any LLM-powered app that you'd like to build.
Yeah, that's right. To get started, take a look at our documentation. Docs.reka.ai. We'll have the links down there in the description.
Super excited to see what you build, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you.